I don't know, it's kind of a very realistic feeling to the beginning of that story. You know, when Jesus is teaching, and he's been teaching for a while, we skipped over a lot of teachings in the gospel readings on our way forward in the Revised Common Lectionary. We skipped pretty much from the Lord's Prayer last week straight to this story, which is like skipping maybe an entire chapter. So Jesus has been teaching for a while. These teachings are gathered, and someone calls out to him. The funny thing is, right before this, Jesus has said that don't worry about what you'll say if people call you up before tribunes, what defense you'll make, the Spirit will be upon you. And so, as if in response to that, someone from the crowd says, hey, I'm having trouble with the will. I want you to can you distribute half or give me my appropriate portion of my inheritance? This feels very real because I don't know how many movies I've seen where it begins in one of those scenes where everybody is totally surprised sitting at the reading of the will about the thing that wasn't left to them, and it becomes the point of contention and struggle in the family. And I get the sense that this man is struggling because he doesn't feel like he's getting his fair shake. In the first century, in the Aramaic culture, most of it, if not all of it, would have gone to the first son. Works out perfectly for me. I'm a first son. But not so perfectly if you're a second, third, or fourth son, or if you're a daughter. You're in trouble. And so this man is asking, Rabbi, teacher, can you kind of make it so there's a proportional division of things? And Jesus says, not what the man wanted to hear. I'm not your lawyer. I'm not the arbiter. Who appointed me to do this? But let me tell you a story, because you seem to be focused on the wrong things. And he tells this story of a guy who's got a great farm. And in the midst of his beautiful farm, this year he has a bumper crop of bumper crops, the most stuff he has ever pulled in from his field. And he's excited about that, except there's no room to store it all. His barns and his silos, everything is full. Now, in the first century, I will tell you what they didn't have that we have a lot of in the United States, and that is the local storage facility where you could just go and rent a couple of extra spaces to keep all the extra junk you can't fit in your house anymore. They did not have that. So he sets upon his own mind, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tear down my old barns and put up some even bigger ones so I can keep all of this stuff. And you know what? Soul starts talking to himself, probably like all of us in the room. We might not admit it, but at some point we've talked to ourselves. And he says, now, soul, this is good for us. What will we do with all this? We are taken care of. We will eat, drink, and be merry, and everything will be good. And then we hear this little word from heaven, you fool. Your very life will be taken this very night, will be asked this very night. So it seems like a pretty straightforward story. I want to tell you, I have heard this preached a lot of times in my life. It's immediately designed. People are like, we're going after the rich people. We're going to, get our pitchforks. We're going to get our torches, and we're going to march up to their mansions and set them on fire. Let's go for them. That's not what this story is about. This is not about that having riches are a bad thing, any more than being poor is a good thing. If you're poor, it's not such a good thing. But it is about something even deeper, I think. This man has been blessed. He's been blessed with what he has. He has pulled in a bumper crop. All he did was plant the seeds. He didn't make the seeds grow. He didn't stand out there and just speak to it and it just came up out of the ground. It happened. It was a gift. It came not because of planting seeds is a good thing. But the bumper crop was all in God's hands, and it was a gift. It was a gift that he could receive. But instead, he wanted to control it. Now, this is something we all like to do in our lives. Be in control. And I just want to tell you right now, if you think you've got control of your life, it's an illusion. It's an illusion. You cannot decide how long you're going to live, whether you're going to get your next breath, whether your heart's going to keep beating. I'm hoping for all of you. It's a terrible thing when it happens in the middle of worship. Something like that happens. But, I'm hoping your hearts are going to keep beating and you're going to keep breathing and all those kinds of things. But we don't have any control over that. I don't. You don't. It's about control. This man wanted to control his harvest. It was a gift, and yet he wanted to invest all of his energy in the harvest itself. We don't even hear that he says thanks. There's no gratitude necessarily. It is, I got all this stuff. Look at this. I'm going to build some bigger barns, and I'm going to kick it. Just going to kick back for the rest of time until it's over. And then he finds out, guess what? It's over much quicker than you thought. It's nice that you've got that big pile, but who is going to eat that big pile? Because it ain't going to be you. It's not going to be you. Now, we might, again, think this is all, that there's a very punitive word that seems to come. I don't know about you. I've never been called a fool. Idiot, I've been called that. I've been called a number of things in my life, but no one's ever called me a fool. Maybe some of you, but I don't know about it, or someone who's done it behind my back. I don't know who's called me a fool. But we think that's not something you want to be called. Somebody walks up to you and says, you know what, I think you're a fool. We might be taken aback for a moment. But what's interesting about the roots of this word is it means more than, it's not pejorative necessarily. It means to be confused. You're confused by what's important and what's not so important. You're confused about whether you're in charge or God's in charge. You've lost the sacred rhythm of life. You've lost it. You've become focused on all the wrong things. And what's interesting is when it talks about treasure, and we use that word, when I think about treasure, I think about, big, pirate's chest. I pop it open, there's gold, there's jewels, it's all flowing out. In Aramaic, the word for treasure, Gaza, means treasure. Treasure means more than money. It means time, it means life itself, it means the gifts that we receive. So when we talk about treasure, the things that we treasure, the gifts that we have, it's anything that we invest so much of ourselves in that we lose the balance of our lives. We lose our connection to God because we're focused on our 401k, or in my case, 403b. I'm focused more on my schedule. Do I have enough things in my schedule? Does it look busy enough when I have to report to Staff Parish? Will I be able to tell them I've had 35,000 meetings between now and next month? Because if you're hoping for that, that is not going to be my report. 35,000 would be a lot of, I don't even think there are that many seconds. How many seconds? A million? Well, in any case. I don't think I have time enough for real meetings like that. We look at our schedules and we think they're full. That's a good sign of how important we are, how busy we are. Our retirement accounts, or our bank accounts. We think of those things as setting our value, as having. And we think those treasures tell us who we are. When in fact, life is not a treasure for us to possess. Jesus wants to turn this around and recognize that life is a gift. Every breath that you have is a gift. Every moment you share with a friend or a stranger, every opportunity you have to catch breath is a gift. It's one you don't have control over. You can't decide except to be where you are. Right now, all of you might be thinking for yourself, for better or worse, have decided to be here in this space. And you'd like to think it's not a waste of your time. that this moment is going to hold something for you, that this moment is a gift in some way. It's a reminder of how important your life is and how much your life matters. It's the gift. This heartbeat that I'm feeling in my chest right now, it's beating, it's a little fast right now, but that's all the way, I think that's preaching. When you preach, that's what happens. Whenever you're in front of folks that you haven't fully gotten to know yet, this is your 5th week of preaching, you're still wondering, are we on the right path? My heart is beating. But each one of those beats, I don't know, 90, 100 per minute right now, are a gift. This breath is a gift. This moment is a gift from God. And rather than try to hold on to it, do you ever have those moments when you have like a mountaintop experience and what you want to do is to bring it down the mountain with you? As you've got to come back down into regular life, you have a mountaintop experience, you grab a hold of it and try to drag it down the mountain with you. But the mountaintop experience was at the mountaintop, and now you're in everyday life. And everyday life is the gift you're receiving right now. When you're on vacation and you're watching those waves roll in, you think, this is a treasure, this is a gift. But then you come back and you have to go to work. And you realize, if you think about it, work is a gift. Sarah's playing the piano for us this morning was a gift. One that made her pretty nervous. But it was a real gift to us. It was a beautiful hymn. It's one of my favorite hymns, actually. So I don't think Sarah knew that when she played it, but it was. And that was a gift to us. This moment is a gift to you, and you've chosen to be here. Each moment with people you love, those are gifts to you. So rather than rush through it on the way to the next thing in your schedule, think, I've got this moment. Let me be in it. When Josh first moved back in with us, that's my son, he's 28 years old, and periodically he decides he wants to talk to me. And oftentimes, it's good. It's always good when he wants to talk to me, don't get me wrong. Oftentimes it's good, always good. But oftentimes, his timing for talking to me might not be my timing for him talking to me. I might be needing to get out the door because I'm supposed to be somewhere else. Well, I made a decision a couple of years ago, it hasn't been that long ago that he moved back in, but that I wasn't going to always get this time with Josh. And there was nobody in the world that was more important than this moment with my son. Now, there are some exceptions. If I was headed to a funeral or a wedding or something that was really timed and important. But when Josh decides he wants to talk to me about something significant, not what we're eating for dinner, what he's making for brunch this morning, which is a surprise, but we have fresh blueberries, so there could be something related to blueberries when we get home today. When he wants to talk to me and we have significant conversations about spirituality, about the journey of life, about what matters, that I want to be in that moment. When one of you comes to my office or meets me for a cup of coffee, that moment matters to me. When I run into you, walk down the hill when you're getting back from Appalachia Service Project, and I get a moment with you, and I get to meet some of the Greminger clan, or Brian, or Bill, as I got to meet those folks, those moments mattered to me. They were quick moments because they were trying to pack things up and get the vans back where they needed to go. They didn't have time to have a long chat. But the moments they were able to give me were gifts. When I talk to Floyd, when he comes in first thing on Sunday morning, and he's one of the first people here, those moments of talking to Floyd are a gift. Talking to each one of you is a gift. So if I'm talking to someone, recognize that being with that person is important. When I see you talking to someone, I recognize that when you're with that person, it's important. Every moment is a gift. It's not a possession. So what does it mean to be rich toward God? It means to let go of a sense of control. Let go of a sense of control and instead enter every moment with a sense of gift. I don't possess this moment, but it's a gift to me. It's an opportunity to be with you. To me, that's a gift. Being here as your pastor is to me a gift. It's more than a job for me. I would have given this job up a long time ago, being a pastor. But this journey with you is something I feel called to. And there's a great sense of gift to it for me. So, please, in your own life, the things that you're holding on to because you think you can control them, let them go. Every moment, receive as a gift. Live into those moments of giftedness as the gift they are. Life is truly a gift, not a possession. And God is giving it to you right now. Right now. Online, in person, wherever you are, God is giving you that gift. What will you do with the gift right now? So this week, look for ways to be the gift and receive the gift that you are. Be who you are as the gift that you are. And if you'd like to share the gift of your presence with me, I encourage you, call me up, talk to me on the phone, send me an email, set up a coffee. I'll meet you in the day or the night in my office or somewhere else. But I'd love to get to know your dreams, your hopes, and walk with you on this journey. That would be a real gift to me. Many of you have already done that, but some of you haven't, and maybe you won't. And it'll be okay if you don't. But if you want to, please know, I would consider it to be a gift. A gift. Let go of possession. Recognize the gift that life is. When you forget, take a breath and be present. What a gift. What a gift. It's time for me to invite the ushers to come forward.